Hello, this is Joe Polish. I'm here with my dear friend Maria Andros, and yeah, you're the video queen. That's at least the title and what you do in your your information marketing business. So I'll talk about me in a moment, but most people that listen to I Love Marketing kind of know who I am, but they don't know who you are.
You're kind of a big deal.
I'm sort of. I am sort of a big deal. That's so funny. Actually, I'm not a big deal at all, but right now we want you to think that we're both kind of a big deal. But no, in the marketing world, you have really learned how to take video and monetize it and all that. But you do a lot of stuff. And so first off, what is the, what's your elevator speech for who is Maria Andros? If anyone wants to ask you and you really wanted to tell them, what would you say? What do you do?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I love what you do, and I'm very honored to be here with you.
Thank you.
I kind of got started just needing to get out of the life that I was in, where I was really just feeling frustrated and working for a job. And back in 2006 was when I knew that I had to do something different, and YouTube was kind of taking off at that point. And so I was studying videos on YouTube, and I was looking to see that people were actually using it to generate free leads and traffic to their websites. And I had a website where I was an affiliate, not even my own products, and I had 2 visitors a day. So I knew that I had to do something fast.
A whopping 2 visitors.
It was a pain point. It was a whopping 2 visitors.
Right.
I had no knowledge of Google, AdWords, nothing. And so I had this intuitive feeling, which is something that I've been using like probably my entire life for everything that I've ever done. It's always been this intuitive hit. I don't know if you've ever felt that. You just have that knowing.
Probably not the level that you do, but I definitely have felt that.
Well, yeah, anyone who's successul, Richard Branson goes by intuition. Like he can know.
No, he's like an intuitive entrepreneur. He just kind of gets certain things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just saw that video was trending. I could see the trend before it was like really going to hit, and I just thought, okay, I've got to like learn this. I've got to study it, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I literally had to kind of reverse engineer my way backwards and look at people like you at the time, very successful entrepreneurs, in the marketing industry, and I just had to start somewhere. So that was my starting point, and I used video as my kind of medium to kind of get my name out there. And really, it's not really about even my brand anymore. It's really about the leverage of what video can do for your brand online. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's interesting because I tend to think of something I learned from Gary Halbert, where there's 3 things you need in order to sell something. You need a product or service, you need a sales pitch or a marketing message, and you need a delivery system.
Yes.
And I look at video as a delivery system. There's many ways to deliver. Like right now, this video of us is being delivered via video, and everywhere that it goes, we're going to put it on the ilovemarketing.com site. It'll be up on YouTube. It'll be in a variety of places, wherever you decide to put it. It's a delivery system. Now, to back up, you also had to either focus on creating your own product or service or selling the products or services of other people. And within the video, you had to actually speak and talk and present yourself in a certain way. So I kind of want to talk about that because I envision the people that would be watching this are people that are entrepreneurs. They have a product or service to sell. They have some way that they talk about it, and they're wanting to deliver it via video and other ways. But I really want to focus on video because right out of the chute, I think you had some pretty good success. I mean, what did you actually do? I know you probably don't always like talking about money. I would love to hear what you would like. What did you do when you first, kind of latched onto this?
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that video can be very overwhelming. It can feel like it's too much work. It's hard. It's intimidating. But really, we're sitting here in Joe's office. We've got this awesome ilovemarketing.com, which I'm really excited to attend, background. It doesn't have to be, difficult. But what I had to do was learn to find a way to connect with people through that lens. And it takes some strategic thinking. But when you can be strategic about video or marketing, you can have bigger results. And no matter what state the economy is in, you can reinvent yourself, you can rebuild, you can be kind of like Madonna, where she's always like changing her look and she's pioneering. So
do you think she's going to look like me anytime soon, Madonna? Just out of curiosity.
She might be modeling. I think we saw one of her cards. She might be, kind of studying that trend right now, Joe Polish.
Yeah, she has.
She might, kind of take over. We're being silly. We're totally playing, but really, it's about having fun, right? Like we're really like when you can be authentic like this and really show people who you are. and just not be afraid to just show different sides of yourself. I think people will appreciate that. But to make a long story short, I started actually filming with my camera. I would hold up the camera like this and walk up and down the street or on the beach. And I didn't realize that was called a pattern interrupt at the time. People started following because it was very much like a reality show, even though they're like, what is this girl doing? But it's been, 1 million views now, over $1 million in sales generated without advertising. So it does work if you can actually follow a system.
Yeah.
And showcase, your value and what you have to offer, your market, your community, and actually really position yourself as a market leader. I think that's what really the power of video is, becoming a market leader in your market, and that's really possible.
Well, what I admire about you is that I guess in a lot of ways, like myself, I had no formal education. I failed owning and operating a small business at a community college. I even show my report card so people can see really.
Did you really fail?
Oh, yeah, I got an F.
I'm a beauty school dropout. We were both failed.
At my high school, I didn't even walk during the night.
I didn't go to my thing either.
We didn't even know that about each other.
No.
See, we discover things every day. How bizarre is that? Yeah,
wow.
So I never got a degree. I never had any formal education. On the night of my high school graduation, I was getting high. I mean, I was kind of a drug addict back then. So and I'm not saying that jokingly. I mean, I was in actually a bad place. And so the upbringing and the education never you would think would lead to somebody running a successful business and all that sort of stuff.
That's
However, I believe, like people ask, how'd you learn what you do? And there's this funny line, just like Abe Lincoln, I'm self-taught,
Totally. It's I say self-taught school, and I was actually just featured recently in a book called The Education of Millionaires. And, for me, I wouldn't have had the privilege or invitation to be invited to be featured amongst entrepreneurs like Russell Simmons, who's like a huge mogul, the guitarist from Pink Floyd, some billionaires in this book. But it's really interesting because it is all about just using that personality side of things in your own self-taught kind of street smart mode, and
Absolutely.
To be innovative. I think people just are afraid to take action, and like using video and something like this, you can actually create those products. And
well, yeah. See, I guess in a lot of ways, without it sounding like we're like dumbasses or anything, because we're not. I mean, we think about what we do. The point is like we just started doing something in the beginning that we really didn't know what the hell we were doing, but we
had a vision though.
Exactly,
and a goal to help certain people actually reach some kind of impact or fulfillment or happiness or freedom in their life. Like that was my thing. And I'm sure for you, you've empowered so many people.
Oh yeah, totally. And and at first I did it because I needed to. I mean, for selfish reasons, I needed to survive. I needed to eat, and I learned marketing because I was in a dead broke carpet cleaning business. I was a dead broke carpet cleaner trying to figure out how to make this small business work. I read Think and Grow Rich. I read books on positive motivation, but I still didn't have any marketing knowledge, and it wasn't until I actually learned how to communicate a compelling message to people that my income started to change. And so basically what I want to do for the people watching this is to inspire them to the best way to get started is to get started, and to put a focus and emphasis on communicating and educating people. And that's what both me and you did. We actually just started doing something.
What I really liked about what you just shared, Joe, is that you were actually sharing. If you just noticed, Joe was sharing his story, and he went from like being this kind of broke, you're struggling, and so your story has progressed and changed over time. But your story is your story. No one can duplicate you. No one can they can try to copy you, but it's like, what's that saying? Like often. Imitated, never duplicated.
Yes.
So it's the story that I think a lot of people are not paying enough attention to when it comes to marketing or marketing with video. Like you have so much magic and gold in your story, it's ridiculous. And you could literally rewrite your story like today. You could literally take it out and change your entire business and brand if you make a decision. And I'm a big believer in that.
Well, I was in New York recently, and I met a young lady named Bonnie, and she was really super excited. There was a few people in the world of marketing that were women that she looked up to, and and you were one of them. And so I said, you know, if you want to talk to Maria, I can actually make that phone call. And I did. I actually called her, and you guys ended up talking.
Yeah.
I called you when I was with her.
Yes.
And, you know, what's kind of cool is you never realize how many people out there are impacted. And I always think it's funny, because when people come up to me and, like, they ask me for an autograph or something or want to take a picture, and sometimes they'll think I'm like this, you know, very special person. And I use a lot of deprecating humor. I'm like, God, if you knew how many personal problems I had, you wouldn't find anything special about asking me for a photo. And I say it jokingly.
But that's what makes you awesome, because you're just
oh, yeah, well, yeah,
humble. Like,
well, and I think people that act
funny.
like they're for one thing I've learned in marketing is you're never as good as your own PR. You know, so not that you don't do great things, but the point is you're not this larger than life person. People are people,
yeah.
And I always try to remind people that, you know, your job as a marketer is to, you know, obviously be persuasive, have people think you're awesome,
yes.
And at the same time, don't ever believe that you are somehow more special or something, because then it becomes arrogance.
Yes.
And then you start being a jerk to people. And I think if you operate, you know, with a level head, not only will you go much further, you'll also, people will tend to like you. And, you know, so the point is, like, when you know, Bonnie is super excited as a result of having, you know, talked to you.
Yeah, we got on the phone, and lovely, you know, young lady, and it was a privilege for me to, you know, talk to her. And because, again, I appreciate you saying that, because it's, you know, maybe a lot of people do think that because we're maybe a little bit more in the public eye that we are, you know, larger than life, but really we're really just people. And if anything, it's like, it's just a lot easier that way. So let's just keep it that way, because everyone's just doing their own thing, and we're just trying to provide tools and things that have worked for us in hopes to empower, you know, our viewers and your viewers to use it in a way that they can create their own, you know, juicy kind of spin on marketing and their message.
Well, yeah, and what I tend to, as I nearly fall off my chair here, and by the way, we could do all kinds of crazy graphics on this video. We could make it, we could edit it. I'm going to purposely, because that's what people would expect when I'm interviewing someone like you, that we're going to have this totally edit. I'm going to actually reach down and grab some water. I'll try to cover the label, because we've not been paid a sponsorship
yet.
Have you seen the greatest movie ever sold by Morgan Spurlock, the guy that did Super Size Me?
I haven't.
Yeah, he did a whole movie where he went out and he got sponsors to actually pay for this movie for product placement, and he did a whole movie about product placement, which is quite funny.
Well, that's almost like what YouTube's done now. Like, look, there's whether you're a small business owner, or you're, you know, a mogul, or you're just getting started, you know, there's people on YouTube who've literally built up their fan base. I think that building up your fan base is actually where the value is, because if you have fans, it's even more valuable than, say, like your customers are like your lifeblood. They're your family. You want to take care of them, but it's the fans are the ones who will follow you with any changes. Like if you have an event coming up, they'll follow you with that, or if you're going to switch gears and do something new. So that's the sponsorship part of YouTube, is like you can actually use that leverage of video, and then like maybe wear t-shirts. I'm just using this as an example.
Yeah, don't you like this is product placement right here.
Right here. But imagine like if you could create an idea today or tomorrow, if you got inspired with an idea, and that idea turned into a $1 million idea. You don't know when you're going to have that $1 million idea. And that's what I think is really cool about, you know, just this possibility on the internet that we have and that you have to leverage right now.
Yes, and there's a saying that I think Dan Sullivan is the first one I heard say this, where you know, you have to have a lot of silly thoughts in order to have the great thoughts. And the way that I tend to think of video is just putting stuff out there and seeing how the marketplace responds. Because if you've got a talent, if you've got a skill, if you've got a story, there are a lot of people that will resonate with it. There are some people that will resonate with it purely for entertainment, and there's others that will say, I will give money to this person, I will follow this person, I will take advice from this person, I will be influenced by the recommendations. I mean, you know, Justin Bieber is a byproduct of doing video and putting his talent out there. Now, you know, people can make fun of Justin Bieber and stuff, but this is an extremely talented kid who works his butt off. That, you know, in the last year, 51% of music sold was from Justin Bieber. You know,
because he's created those raving fans.
Exactly.
He knows how to, like, and I saw that you have got that
I got a I guess
think it's super cool. Life-size Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber for Dean Jackson, because Dean Jackson, my partner, and I love him.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's great, and you know he understands. He follows the entertainment business, and he knows. Yeah, he really knows, and he's the one that really put me on like Never Say Never, which I think cost $18 million to make that movie, and I think it's brought in I think close to $100 million at this point.
Wow.
And you know, we're talking about a marketing machine. If you've never seen Never Say Never, Justin Bieber's movie, watch it, because it will give you'll learn a ton. Even Guy Kawasaki told me that. He's like, it's one of the best movies you could ever watch about marketing, to learn something about marketing. But the point is you know, it started out in video. Now I'm not saying that your child or you may be the next Justin Bieber, but the point is,
results may vary.
Exactly.
Right?
No, but the point is, if it wasn't for this new day and age, that wouldn't exist.
Like being able to use this medium to
Right.
actually reach people. Like imagine if you could start reaching people in Australia or other countries that you would never have been able to reach locally in a local business. It's like literally, it's ridiculous, but it's exciting. Like it really is. We've got to get more excited, I think, because sometimes I think it's easy to forget how much power and leverage you have by choosing to use these types of tools and you know, learn from Joe or learn the marketing tips that can propel you forward.
Right. I mean, as a matter of fact, as we're sitting here doing this video, we have a guy sitting behind the camera who I can assure you knows absolutely nothing about how to actually do a video.
His muscles.
Yeah, he is. He's quite a funny guy. We might call him up later, but we'll see. Because he's kind of well known in certain. So he's sort of
Kevin
a big deal too.
Yeah.
But let's not mention his name. But I'm kidding. So let me ask you some questions for people. Okay, so they kind of get that there's this medium out there.
Yes.
You know, there's all this technology where people can distribute, and someone wants to go into the business of either educating people and getting paid for it, or building a fan base because their ego requires them to have a bunch of followers, or you know, they just simply have a cure for something, a methodology for something, a story to tell, a non-profit, a for-profit. What are some tips and suggestions on how to get started in communicating? I mean, how would you do
message?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing you'd want to do is kind of set up your hub, whether that's a video blog, whether that's your YouTube channel, a simple website. It can just be, we want to actually start capturing your viewers' information, because you can just create videos generically and it can maybe go viral, but the chances of that aren't extremely high unless you're filming like, you know, weird cat videos or something like that. But your goal is to actually bring along your viewers into a series. So it's not just like a one-hit wonder with your videos. We want to create a hub, like a home base, and it's a good analogy is with Apple, for example. Apple came out with the iPod like years ago. Yeah. You remember that was like this huge thing. It was like no one they didn't actually have a market share. It was actually PCs that had this huge market share. But Apple got innovative and they came up with the iPod. And what they did is it was a small entry point product. Like, what was it, less than $200 or approximately $300 or $200.
Yeah, I bought one of the very first iPods.
You bought it, right?
Yeah, and I love the slogan. They had 1,000 songs in your pocket.
Right. Okay. I don't even remember that, but I remember I personally wasn't an Apple customer, but there were so many people who jumped on that bandwagon. But what happened is we actually got to the store, and once we were in the store, you saw all the MacBook Pros, right, and all those other products.
They hooked you with that.
So your videos, you're not meant to actually sell on your videos when you're building up your business with video. Your video sales page is meant to sell your product, but everything else is to get people to your website. Your videos are like little employees that are working for you while you eat, play, and sleep, and they're driving the customers and the potential customers and the traffic to your website, which is where you're going to offer a place where they can enter their name and email address, and then you're going to give them actual like really good information and almost like a taste test, a try before you buy, where you're actually giving away something that may be one of your best techniques and giving them a feeling tone of what your service offers. You're going to build extreme brand loyalty quick, because a lot of people think, oh, I have to save all the good stuff. And our friend Evan is a genius. Evan Pagan is about moving the free line.
We shouldn't call him a genius, though, because I don't think he deserves that.
All right. Well, anyhow.
No, but Evan is smart.
Okay, Evan is smart. Yeah. So I'll take that. But it's really about creating a series of videos. So it's almost like You've seen Friends.
Mm-hmm.
When a new show comes on, it's a pilot. We have no idea who the characters are, but
right.
we got to know Rachel, Monica, Joey, like all those quirky characters through a series of videos.
Right.
Okay, and like they made us laugh, but really it's about creating how to content works really, really well. So,
well,
like kind of what we're doing right now, we're doing some how-to, like what
yeah.
we can, our viewers, your viewers take and how-to right now.
Do you think they're watching this video more because they want to look at you or me? What if there was no content? Just say we were like,
we have to do
this
a
is
poll,
silent
but
film.
I think that shirt is very captivating.
I think
it's
the draw to the I Love Marketing
It's
shirts.
actually not pure white, just so you know. I don't know if it on film it might look white, but it's actually this interesting ecru color that I've never seen before, almost like an eggshell. It looks awesome.
Well, it's because I wash it with all my color.
That wasn't planned.
No, I'm kidding. But you're right. See, because this is white.
This is white.
This is pearly white over here, and this is, yeah.
So if you wear cool shirts, then
well, let me say something which I think is. I'd love to hear your take on this.
Okay.
Because we live in a world that is fascinated with celebrity.
Yes.
And I think one of the appeal of doing video, much more when it was early on and new than it is now, because now any goofball with a video camera can throw up a video somewhere and
make money.
And make money
if
and
they wanted to.
Of course,
if they chose to.
And so there's some of the most popular channels on YouTube are young girls on how to apply makeup or
Yes.
how to do their hair or how to dress. And gossip shows. The stat I heard is that 2/3 of all American conversations are gossip. So we live in a
Yes.
world of People, Us Magazine, Entertainment Tonight, that sort of stuff. And so you can bring a lot of that, fascination with celebrities to your use of video. And so I know in your video you've done videos of you doing photo shoots, and then you've done videos of you on how to make money and how
Right.
to build a list and how to put together, an opt-in page and all that. What tends to, after you've established a following,
Yes.
what do your, like for instance, I put like really incredible interviews on my Facebook page as an example.
Right.
And I recently put up a ridiculous video of me at Burning Man
Yes.
wearing freaking like basically golden underwear and a ridiculous necklace that Annie and this goofy hat, and I'm walking on stilts. And I get more comments from that than all of these incredibly valuable how to make money sort of things. And it just, the whole world of communication never ceases to amaze me what people respond to. So what is your take on what people respond to and why, and how do you mix it up?
My take is that people are buying experiences online, and if the companies that are actually creating an experience, like Virgin, like it's an experience. It's not just the content. Like, you have to have good content. We want to encourage you to, really do your research and create content that will actually help your viewers and your customers to actually, better their lives and get a result. But it is experience. Reality shows, people want to see behind the scenes. They're captivated by seeing just like authentic, like we're just being ourselves. This is impromptu. It's much more interesting. And actually Larry King, there was a video where, Larry's usually very polished and just like Larry's Larry. But there was a video that went viral where it was behind the scenes where he was actually really grumpy one day, and it had millions and millions of views because people don't want perfection. People are buying brands that actually have character or that provide an experience are what are actually staying alive right now in this industry. If you aren't bringing an experience to your business right now, you may go under. I just went in the airplane today on Southwest, and it said 2.5 million local businesses. People are going under if they're not online right now and using, Facebook video. But it's creating an experience, like you actually showcased a part of, your personality, and that just makes you a unique offer. Mm-hmm. It's a unique, even though it's not directly an offer to buy your 25K coaching program or your K program, but
which everyone should buy right now. 25kgroup.com, by the way.
But do you see how you can actually bring people in at different entry points and help them? Like, you're building trust. People buy from people they trust.
Right.
Why is it that one website can have one offer and they're not converting at all, or no one's buying, but then there's another website where maybe there's a story or an experience that feels like, oh, I can relate to this.
Right.
It's being relatable. I think that's what we're just, like, I kind of sometimes go on these tangents, but I get really excited about these conversations, but it's being relatable. Yeah. People want to relate. We're human. We're this fast-paced time, like we all sometimes feel disconnected, and social media and everything has made us feel more connected, but at the same time, we're still looking for that feel good and that value and that experience from something that we will want to provide our, take out our credit card and buy something from, or because we're going to feel like we've got value from that.
Yeah, well, no, I agree.
Does that make any sense?
No, totally, because I think if someone is not providing some sort of experience, you're simply commoditized, because it's really...
You're generic.
Yeah, I mean, in this day and age, you can go on Amazon, you can go online, and you can figure out how to buy stuff for a much lower price. But it's the experience that's attached to it. So whenever you can, I mean, one of the best examples of taking a non-related product would be something like the George Foreman grill.
Right.
I mean, if you didn't have George Foreman grill and you just had grill, what would, there was a whole story and there was a whole persona and there was a whole, for lack of a better word, a brand built around, a George Foreman grill. And so whenever you can, attach an experience, something fun, something memorable, something that has significance beyond the product or service, that's how you elevate, the perception of it. I mean, in my Nightingale Conan program, I do a whole segment on pride of spending, where, years ago I read a book called The Experience Economy, and they talked about the coffee bean as a commodity. Starbucks,
right. Starbucks took it, ran with it, and they created an experience.
Exactly, and it's like, you take a coffee bean, which is like a 2-cent commodity, and you put it into Folgers Crystals, or you put it into Denny's or a convenience, store, like a 7-Eleven or Circle K or wherever people are in the world where they have, places you can go get coffee. You're talking about 50 cents, $1, but then you put it into a latte and you charge $3 to $5 for this 2-cent commodity. You've created an experience around that, and even if they sold the coffee for $1, they could still make good margins because of the low price of coffee and the margins in it, but it would ruin their followers because no one would feel psychologically good about spending $1 on a latte, right? It just doesn't seem to match. And so part of it is, I learned through that, is that when you tie in the personality, when you tie in the experience, not only does that engage people, but they'll actually pay way more money for that than for the commodity.
They'll pay higher prices for that.
Exactly.
So you're actually leveraging your time and not needing to reach the masses. Like, a lot of people think that you have to have millions of video views. Like, you don't have to have a million video views at all. You can actually reach a very small niche market and be able to offer a product or service that's, high value for higher pricing if that's what you have. Right. And not have to reach the masses. But you don't have to reach the masses. Well, that's the myth.
One of the areas where I make the largest sums of money in my business are actually pretty much under the radar. Right. I've got my 25K group, which the vast majority of people are not even aware of what the heck that even is. It's a high-end coaching mastermind group for people that make $1 million a year net income or more. I've got my carpet cleaning niche where, you never see me advertising, marketing materials for carpet cleaners in, airline magazines or on national television, because I don't need to. It's all, so I don't need, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people seeing messaging in order to sell that. It's a very tightly niche thing. So the point here is, you don't have to be gigantic. The whole world doesn't have to know who you are, and you can still make $1 million plus a year. Simply just targeting a small segment of people relative to what a lot of people think you need to do.
And what I love about you, Joe, is you actually use a lot of video. I've seen throughout the years, like, I've watched your progression as well. You actually use video everywhere. I'm pretty much.
Totally. I carry like my iPhone, or I carry a flip video. I still love flip videos.
And you're using like the flip video. It's not like you're using, you don't always use the high-end cameras. Like, you've done a lot of this with, just technology.
Some of the most well-received videos I ever shot were done completely on the fly, with no editing whatsoever, and just in the middle of, like, I want to capture a slice of life. And if there's a slice of life happening, and I got a video camera, you bet your butt that I'm trying to, be not too profane here.
Yeah.
Bet your that I'm going to capture. But I would encourage everyone to think that way too. I mean, people think you need to be so polished.
You don't. It's polished.
Polished, yeah,
See,
like Joe Polish.
No, it's really cool. Like I actually was at the airport, coming down to the office today, and I was thinking I made a little video for a friend just to like not a voice memo, but just say, hey, I'll see you next week. But you can literally take your iPhone or your mobile device and actually film a video, and it'll probably connect a lot more because people feel like, wow, she's talking or he's talking directly to me, and there is serious power and magic in that.
I want to point something out that I don't think I've talked about this too much. One of the ways that I actually build rapport with people is I always try to get as close to in person as possible, even if we're across the country, across, in another, people in the UK, Australia. There's videos that I will make for a few people to watch. I will make public videos that I want everyone to watch. I will make private videos that, small groups of people watch, and I will make one-on-one videos.
Right.
So if I'm sitting in front of my Apple Air and I wanted to shoot a video, whenever there's an important email or an important request or someone does something that I think really is worthy for something more than an impersonal email, I will actually record an audio and send it either on my iPhone if I'm out and about, or I will shoot a video and I will send them that personal video. And I cannot tell you how that has accelerated my impact with things that led to sales, the things that led to people wanting to work with me and do things. And so I would encourage people to even, to think of video not just as like something you have to produce for everyone to watch, but just as a way to can and clone a message and send it out to someone. That's
such a powerful how-to action step right now. I'm so glad you brought this up because think about it. Everything, sales, marketing, everything's communication. It's all like, is your communication like really landing with the other person? So if you could start practicing by just acknowledging even the people in your life or building those stronger relationships just by like using your little camera, just practicing, and you cement either a relationship or a deal, or someone introduces you to your next, future business partner or the next whatever that is. Exactly. That's like huge. I have no doubt in my mind that the top leaders are most like if you're doing this, then you want to model, like, I'm going to do it even more now, like Joe says, because it's, he's a very master at communication, and you have been connected to celebrities, like you connected to, Richard Branson. I think that's really powerful that you do that. So that's a huge, like, takeaway. If you could do that one step, I think within the next, let's just say, give yourself a goal of 1 month, 3 months, a year from now, where are you going to be? If you actually nurture and want to, just take action and build those relationships.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. I sucked at doing video when I first started it, just like I sucked at marketing. Just like I sucked at writing copy. But, there's this line, anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly in the beginning. Now, if you still try to do something, it is just not within your ability. One of the worst things to do is keep trying to get good at something that you just suck at, because Dan Sullivan says, if you spend your life trying to, improve your weaknesses, at the end of your life, you're going to have a lot of really strong weaknesses. So, there comes a point where you're either getting it or you don't. The persistence only goes so far. Some people are like, persist, and it goes back to, sort of, because the best way to get out of a hole is to quit digging it, so sometimes persistence is really, it's like some games in life, the only way you win is you don't play. So there's certain games where if it's just not within your skill set and you're not good at video, then do audio. Some people have a great radio voice, but they don't do video well. Some people are great writers.
You can do screen captures. You can actually create screen captures or little videos. You can go to for Apple computers, there's ScreenFlow or there's Camtasia. You can get a 30-day free trial. You can literally create a PowerPoint with a white background, black text, and create your script and just do a voiceover. And I see people who are doing that they're doing really well. So you don't even have to be on live camera if you really don't want to.
John Benson, who's in my 25K group, is like the ninja of ugly video sales letters.
And he's cashing in, right?
Oh, he's making a fortune. Yeah. Literally, he's made people millions of dollars.
Yes.
And at a recent Bill Glazer, Dan Kennedy, Glazer Kennedy Super Conference, 1,200 people I spoke at. I had the highest close in Glazer Kennedy history for a product called the Triple X Halbert recordings. It was literally a consultation I did in 1997 with Gary Halbert that I recorded. He's one of the most brilliant marketing minds on the planet. And I sold that product, and I used a 7-minute video that John Benson helped me put together.
Wow.
And so from stage, I had people watch a 7.5-minute video, and over 500 people got in line to buy my product. And basically, a couple hundred people dropped out of the line because they thought they were going to miss out on the offer. I still sold,
Wow.
6 figures. Like it was huge.
That's awesome.
But basically, it was done with a video, and it was done with an ugly video that didn't even have my face on it.
No.
It was simply just talking. And so there is so much power and leverage in video, and there's so much more that we could say. But we're on
Yes.
we got to fly to New York for our buddy. I'll just date this, but our buddy Evan Pagan's getting married to Annie in 2 days, and
We
so we're going to
love
fly
them.
to New York. And so I want to do a quick video with you before we needed to get the heck out of here. And you have training, you have people can find you. So if people want to learn from you, see what it is you're doing, where do they go? How do they get more Maria?
Sure. The best place that I would direct you to go is I actually have a free video series. It's called the Video Conversion Formula. So videoconversionformula.com. You'll see me in a white karate outfit in a dojo. It's quite interesting. I've had a lot of comments from all over the world, and it's a series.
Do you think you could kick my ass if we got in a fight?
I don't know. I would have to try.
I would hope not. I would feel so ashamed.
No, I think you'd probably you do P90X. So.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay. So I'm sorry. Totally. Like you're right in the middle of talking about being in a dojo with a video series.
Anyhow, I actually have a series where you can actually go and there's a formula called the Instant Video Expert Formula. I give you an actual script that you can follow, you can model, you can actually get started with, fill in the blank, and actually start. Like I really want to, help people with video because I really am kind of like the underdog that made it, and I'm all about empowering people to have an awesome life. And I'm taking it to the next level now, but you can go there or mariaandros.com. But Video Conversion Formula is a good place.
Awesome. So, and what I will say is, you're coming up with the famous last words that I'm going to end this video with from you. Because I will talk endlessly. So it's great having you as part of I Love Marketing.
Thank you for.
Totally appreciate
I'm
it.
really truly happy and grateful to be a part of this. This is so cool, and
Yeah,
thank you for featuring this interview. It's really an honor.
Absolutely, absolutely, and hopefully we will do more of these,
Yes.
and they will see more of me and you in shenanigans, because we're gonna shoot some funny videos and some funny pictures and stuff very soon, and those will pop up. You can find
Stay
it
tuned.
if you search. But yeah, so for I Love Marketing. One of the reasons I love marketing so much is that marketing is the ultimate leverage. I mean, you truly can take a message, anything you have to share for fun or for profit or for serious things that are saving people's lives and making people aware of cures to social ills or diseases and whatnot. And video is a fantastic way to do it. And with all the advances in technology, this is available to everyone. I mean, literally, it's so easy to get stuff out there. However, the part that's not easy is the psychology. And to be a good marketer, psychology is infinitely more important than technology. So what I want to encourage you to do, if you're not having success with your video, if we've kind of prompted you and inspired you to get started, really do a study of human behavior. A famous line in Robert Collier's Letter Book, which is a copywriting book written in the 50s. He said, as a copywriter, as a marketer, you want to enter a conversation that's existing in your prospect's mind. And so whenever you're putting something together, whatever sort of messaging you're doing, think about what is going on in the prospect's minds. What are their fears? What are their obstacles? What are their concerns? What are the things that make them laugh? What are the things that will engage them? And as you put your videos out there, put them together. Also think of yourself as doing an R&D experiment. You're literally watching what people are responding to, kind of like you're fishing just to see what the fish are biting on. And once you've identified what people are responding to, just keep recording that. Just keep putting it out there. And those are the ways that you can build a list. Follow what Maria's doing. Follow the I Love Marketing podcast. Listen to it, because the whole reason we're putting this stuff out there, yes, we love it when people get engaged enough and they want to buy our stuff and they're willing to invest in stuff. And at the same time, both of us put a tremendous amount of free content out there because we want to basically put our put it out there and say, if you like it, you'll buy something from us. You'll learn something. If you don't, that's okay. And that's a smart way to actually understand human psychology, because either one of us would have ever made a penny if we didn't really study what people are actually responding to and leverage that. So I just want to make sure that you understand that along the ways of trying this out, if you don't hit it right off the bat, always watch what's working, what's not working, and once you got something that's working, keep doing it. Keep going deeper with it, because part of what I've interviewed a lot of people. I have this thing called Genius Network, and it's really the wisdom network. And what genius is, in a lot of ways, is simply redundancy. It's people that have kept trying, kept trying, kept trying. They failed many, many times, but they just kept trying, and they actually got to a point where they started working, and they kept doing it, and then it started working more, and then all of a sudden they were world class. And if you study any area for 6 months, a year, 3 years, you study something for 3 to 5 years, not only will you be an expert, you'll probably be one of the world's leading experts. And the thing is, when it comes to success, some people just give up way too soon. So anyway, that's the rambling I wanted to do. So that was probably more than I needed to say, but that was a tangent. So, Maria, again, thank you. Famous last words. What would you say to any final thing to these listeners as we send them off into their
I think that all the experiences that you've gone through in your life have made you a fighter, and that everything that you may have been challenged with, and that's tried to put you down, and you felt like maybe you've been a failure in, it's you are you're a fighter, you're a survivor. You can completely reinvent and reactivate your path right now, and I like to say that everything you want is just outside of your comfort zone. It's just right outside there, so it's so close that if you just choose today to just be you know what, screw it, screw it, let's do it, like that Richard Branson saying, no matter what you did yesterday, no matter what you did 3 months from now, no matter what your results are, you are you're able to start over now. Mm-hmm. And you're able to take it to another level of leadership. I think that the world is waiting for leaders. It's waiting for you. You're here for a reason. You're watching this. You've invested your time, your energy. So I just encourage you to really look within to find that leadership, that tiger that's there, and just go for it and get it done, and really encourage you and wish you tons of success. And again, with appreciation and gratitude, I just want to say thank you and good luck.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Give us your comments. Let me know what you thought of the interview with Maria. And
thank you guys.
Yeah,
really appreciate the comments. Yeah.
You're awesome.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you.